stanza and it is summer break, so we have time to do personal projects. I'm going to show you a quick tutorial on how to make a silhouette portrait. You can choose to make silhouette portrait of anybody you'd like. I think it is more popular to make silhouette portraits of children. I made mine of my kids as a gift for my husband for Father's Day. Here is one of them that you'll see me working on in the video. I use Procreate on my iPad to make the silhouette after I photographed my kids, but you should be able to still do it just by taking a photograph behind a bright window. That's where I started, but I wanted to tweak the silhouette and just clean it up in Procreate. I'm sure that you could just use your photo and change the balance, the white, the black and white balance on there, just in your iPhotos. If you have an iPhone or whatever camera tool you use on your phone, let me know if you have questions, and happy creating.
Okay, so I started with these photographs of my kids. This one is not in front of a window like I said earlier, but you're going to import your photo into Procreate. And if you're not using Procreate, you can skip ahead to the next section of the video. You're then going to lower the opacity of the image by clicking on the N in Procreate and then just go around about 50%. This helps you see the image but see your outline a little bit better. Make sure you create a new layer so you're not actually drawing on top of the photograph but a separate layer. Then you are going to use, I typically use monoline 1. It's just a nice thick line, even pressured, to outline the face. You may have to edit the shoulders a bit, or you can take a better photograph than like I did here, where you can get the silhouette pose a little bit more accurate. After you have done the outline, you just fill it in with the color dropper. So here, then you're going to export the image. I recommend a PNG, and I just like to email it to myself. Makes printing it just a lot easier. Here are some quick time lapses of my 3 kids silhouette drawings here on Procreate. So once you have your printed silhouette pictures from Procreate, you're going to make basically a transfer by using a number 2 pencil on the back, and you just need to do the outline. You do not have to color in the whole backing. If you have transfer paper, then you don't need to do that. It's super easy, but I'm making my own transfer paper basically. You're going to place your picture where you want it on your, in this case I had a wood slice. You can use a canvas, you can use a more finished piece of wood, really whatever you want to do. Make sure you tape it on so that your picture does not move around as you are tracing it. Then you are simply going to press over your outline, and that pressure is going to move the graphite from the back of the paper onto your canvas, your wood, whatever you are using. Just make sure that you are pressing firmly and you go over all layers. It's going to make a very faint outline, I would say, but you can always go back and tweak it. So as you can see here, here's my faint outline, and now to some, it's the simplest part. It's the filling in. So you are going to use just any black paint. You can do glossy or matte. It's really up to you. And I sped this up or else we'd be here. I think this is a 2 times the speed right now. Go along the outline first. And I decided, this is the 3rd one I did. You can see the 2 up top that were already finished. I made the inside, I kind of like faded it in because the first one I did kind of had a harsh outline that I could tell the difference where the outline started versus just the fill in the center. See how I'm kind of softening up the inside edge as I am working. The hardest part is going to be the front of the face and that whole side profile, just because it has a bit more detail than the back of the face typically. Go slow, take your time, there's no need to rush. Just be aware of the edge of your paintbrush and how thick your paintbrush is, because when you press down, it's going to go a bit wider than you believe it will. So once you have gotten the outline done, then you're just going to go back in and fill it in. So I used a pretty small brush for the outline part. Again, you can see me softening up the inside. I basically just brushed it in until the paint was practically gone off the brush. But once you have your full outline, you're going to take a thicker brush just to fill in the inside. Try not to rush. I know it's tempting to just go super fast because you're like, oh, I got the outline. But if you rush, your brush will most likely go outside of the lines that you set as your outline. So I'm going to grab my bigger brush now, and I'm going to start at the top and I kind of work my way down. Just be careful along those edges and take your time. I cannot stress that enough. Just make sure you blend it in really well to the outline, and that is pretty much all you need to do for your silhouette portrait.